Our top story, the other top story, is about the Russia-Ukraine war. The war has taken a new turn this month. It started with Ukraine surprising Russia by bringing the war to Russian territory in Kursk. This left Russia, in a way, struggling to protect its own territory and triggered questions about what Kiev actually hopes to achieve from the assault. At first, Ukraine said that the goal was to catch Russia off guard. And then Kiev said the aim was to stretch Russia's resources. Amid all this, Ukraine's Kursk operation seemed like an admirable but risky gamble. Today, for the first time, Ukraine has officially admitted the end goal in Kursk. The Ukrainian President, Volodymyr Zelensky, has said the incursion into Russia was the first part of Kiev's victory plan. A victory plan. He intends to present this to US President Joe Biden when he meets him in September. What does this victory plan entail, you ask? Here's what we know. Zelensky has outlined 4 different parts of the plan. He says one of the areas where work has been done is the region of Kursk. The second part of the plan involves Ukraine's strategic place in the world's security infrastructure. The third part of the plan is a powerful package to force Russia to end the war. How exactly? Through diplomatic means, of course. Lastly, the fourth part of the plan is economic. What does that include? We don't know. He won't tell. Of course, buoyed by the success of the Kursk operation, Zelensky highlighted how the surprise incursion led to the withdrawal of Russian troops from eastern Ukraine. That is what Zelensky claims. But did the Russians withdraw? Not really. Russia has advanced in its ongoing plot to fully occupy the eastern Donbas region of Ukraine, but Zelensky claims that the Kursk incursion helped prevent the potential occupation of parts of Kharkiv, Sumy and Chernihiv regions. Regardless of the claims and the counterclaims, Ukraine's Kursk incursion, which is part of Zelensky's victory plan, has now become a focus of concern for the UN nuclear watchdog, the IAEA. Its Director General, Rafael Grossi, fears a nuclear accident here. He says that the nuclear power plant is vulnerable due to a lack of protective dome that could shield it from missiles, drones or artillery.
In Kursk Oblast, in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, in Sochi, in Kiev, in Buenos Aires, in New York is the same. No nuclear accident. This cannot happen, and this is why the IAEA will always be there.
Grossi visited the nuclear power plant in Kursk at the invitation of the Russian President Vladimir Putin. He expressed his concerns after assessing the situation on the ground. Yet, the situation on the ground remained dangerous. You see, just a day after the IAEA chief inspected the site, Russia claimed to have defused unexploded munitions fired by Ukraine near the nuclear power plant. Russia said that its forces defused unexploded American-supplied munitions fired by Ukraine, which Russia shot down just 5 kilometers from Russia's Kursk nuclear plant. The announcement was made by Russia's National Guard. It was accompanied by a video of the unexploded munitions. Rosgvardia, which is Russia's National Guard, has said in a statement that its sappers had found a shell from a US-supplied HIMARS 5 kilometers from the power plant. They also found a rocket fragment, which they said was stuffed with 180 unexploded munitions.
The munition disposal group arrived to the site. They launched a drone and observed the area. They discovered a HIMARS missile. They inspected the object and discovered the cluster submunitions. 183 submunitions have been discovered. They have been destroyed by detonation of the overhead charge. No faults have happened.
You see, ever since the Ukrainian forces punched through Russia's border into Kursk region on the 6th of August, fighting has escalated. It is taking place just within 40 kilometers of the nuclear facility.
The results of specific attacks were presented, and there is no ambiguity about who carried out these strikes and where those came from.
Ukraine is yet to comment on Russia's allegations, but the same day, a Ukrainian drone attack sparked a fire at an oil depot in Russia's Kamensky district. No casualties were reported, and once again, There was no immediate comment from Ukraine. The Russian Defense Ministry said its air defense units destroyed 4 drones over the region overnight. Videos posted on Russian social media showed what looked like large tanks ablaze at night. Of course, this is not the first time that a fuel depot has been attacked. In early August as well, a fuel storage depot was attacked. You see, in a war, attacks on the enemy's logistics to undermine their war efforts. But this response from Ukraine seems to have been triggered after Russia launched missile and drone attacks, targeting scores of Ukrainian regions and killing at least 6 people on Tuesday. President Zelensky had vowed to retaliate against Russia. A day before, he had asked allies to consider joint air defense operations and the provision of long-range capabilities. Ukraine has lobbied for months to use long-range Western weapons against targets deep inside Russia. Kiev wants to launch the missiles at Russia's heartland as demonstration attacks, yet Ukraine's demands for Western permission to strike deeper into Russia raises several crucial questions, chief among them being, how does Ukraine plan to force Russia to end the war? While Ukraine has been able to put up a fight in Russian territory that it has raided, its own territory, especially Pokrovsk, is facing near capture. Ukrainian military's Kursk region incursion was a high-stakes gambit aimed at forcing Russia to divert troops from Ukraine's eastern front line. But you see, that did not stop Moscow from advancing in Ukraine. Even Ukraine's top commander has admitted this. On Tuesday, Ukrainian Colonel General Alexander Syrsky said that Russian troops did not take the bait and instead concentrated its most combat-ready units near Pokrovsk. Ultimately, can peace be achieved in Ukraine with neither Ukraine nor Russia standing down? Can they be brought to the talking table? Behind the scenes, there have been discussions among Western allies about initiating talks. However, these discussions were muffled after Ukraine's incursion in Kursk to placate allies. Zelensky has been promoting the Kursk incident as a catalyst for negotiations, claiming that Ukraine's actions are strengthening Kiev's push for peace talks. But is Ukraine genuinely committed to this, is the question. The broader picture suggests otherwise. Putin will likely insist on keeping the 4 Ukrainian regions he has declared part of the Russian Federation, along with Crimea, that was annexed in 2014. And remember, Zelensky and his top aides have stated that they will not give up territory for peace. Zelensky is also unwilling to make significant concessions. What is on the minds of the two leaders? We will never know. What we do know is that there is neither exhaustion nor a desire, the two things needed for successful peace talks. So then, will Zelensky accept the new borders to end the war? We will have to wait and watch for that answer. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.